Peace and blessings, family. It is your favorite couple in the building. It is the Amaris. Yours truly, Amari, and my queen, Amari. Thank everybody so much for tuning in at this time. I want to make sure we give everybody the opportunity to share and invite at this time. Remember, on tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about various keys to having a successful relationship. My queen Amari and I, we're a very happily married couple, and also we own 3 businesses together. My queen is the executive director of Synergetic Network Group LLC, also Kevlar Lifestyle. She's also the co-founder of our organization, our Kevlar Unity Alliance. Also, we are real estate investors, and she and I have successful businesses as well as a successful relationship. So what we would like to do is we would like to display true black love on this evening. I definitely want to set the example for my brothers out there. I understand a lot of us have been miseducated as well as our queens about each other. So we want to display that love that we should be displaying openly. And I want brothers to understand that love is strength. Love is the basis of a relationship, also, of course, trust, and amongst many other things that we're going to go over on this evening. So again, at this time, we want to give you all the opportunity to share and invite. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is the keys to a successful relationship with the Amaris. Thank you so much for everybody that's tuning in. Queen Tara, thank you for tuning in. Rick Riley, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that. Yeah. See, you got it right. You got it right. That's what it is, sis.
Be ready for love.
That's right, most definitely. Get the love going. Also, we are a proud part of the Black Love Family page as well. So we want to definitely encourage you to go there. We have some wonderful programs for you. Tomorrow we'll have a brother coming on, Delana Adafo. He'll be coming on tomorrow. And on Thursday we have Black Love Thursdays, where we're unapologetically empowering our people. And our people is the focus. We're talking about our spiritual, our financial, our health, and also, our mental stability, dealing with our social lives as well. So we touch everything that I aforementioned and more. So for those of you who would like to be a part, we would love to have you. Again, Black Love page, Black Love Family page. All right, so we get ready to begin. Thank everybody so much for tuning in. Again, the keys to success with the Amaris. As I aforementioned, we are truly a happily married couple. This is not something that I'm just saying. We're not hanging on by a strand, in our relationship. We're not just barely making it. My queen and I have been destined to be together. So although she's the woman that I was looking for, the reason why we're a perfect match is because she was destined to be in my life. See, I met plenty of good women prior to her. However, we didn't have the connectivity because it wasn't meant to be. So with that said, if you want to deal with a relationship basis as well, you want to ensure that you fully understand, that it's all about destiny too. And before you go into a relationship, you also need to ensure that you are in a good state of mind when you go into a relationship. Because first of all, it's your mentality that influences that relationship. Also, it influences whether or not your social life, which entails communication, which entails your conduct towards each other. So all of those things stem from your mentality. So you have to go into a relationship with the right mindset. So we have to start out with the dating piece first. We're also going to deal with marriage because, of course, as I aforesaid, we are married. All right. But for those single people out there, we don't want to overlook you because a lot of single people do admire our relationship. So, we definitely want to touch on that. We want to help you in that arena. And regards to the keys to success. So my queen is going to take over from here. Then I'm going to come back on the platform after that.
All right, glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. As you know, I'm not the one that's on this thing, for every day of the most part. I'm just, the person in the back cheering and inviting and all of that. And I enjoy being in the back. But I believe that this topic does call for, for the queen, as he called me, to step up to the plate and to put, the knowledge that I've grown into what we're going to talk about today. I appreciate the fact that my king, he's a warrior, and he's and we're both advocates in the black community. We're both advocates in the black community, but in my studying the black community, I saw some things that were lacking in relationships, and staying in relationships and things of that sort was totally lacking for some relationships. Now, I can appreciate the topic of this, keys to a successful relationship. There's many types of relationships. Of course, there's relationships with our children, our family members, our associates, friends. I mean, there are relationship upon relationship. And as you grow to even gain knowledge in regards to relationship with your spouse and relationship with others, you'll be able to be a better or make a better impact in this community. Now, first, before we go on, I have to do a disclaimer. We are not therapists. Although my king is certified in some areas and I'm certified in some areas, we're here just to give you a different view and a different approach, so you can take a different outlook when you go out and you partake in these relationships, or you have your day-to-day interaction. Now, one thing about me is I like to look at words sometimes. Sometimes a word could just grasp out, jump out and grab me, and then it'll intrigue me, and then I have to investigate that word a little bit. And the word in our title it said keys to a successful relationship, but the word that jumped out at me the most, of course, is the word key. And I mean, when we think of keys, I mean, it just seems like, it's just something so common, something so, okay, yeah, I need the key to my car, I need the key to my door, you know what I'm saying? But keys are generally made and given to a place that you want to safeguard, you want to lock that thing up. It's of value to you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's for the most part, the reason that we're giving keys to buildings and doors and all other things. I was laughing with Amari, and I say, you know what? I say, we just don't understand. I said, we're driving around here in a car. Okay, we got the one key that let us in the car. Then there may be another key for the car pocket. Then you might got another key for the wheel, the locks on the wheel, which lets me know that although you had one key to get in one door, you might need another key to get in another. So, and that's the way it is. Absolutely. With our relationships and with our life and things like that. And not only that, there's one songwriter that says the perfect combination. What combination of key? What combination of, do you have the password or the code in order to enter in? Now, in this day and time, with all of this, you need a password for everything. Everything is on lock. You got 2-3 passwords to get in your phone, and then you turn around after you do the 2-3 passwords, you got to use a fingerprint. So we got, actually, I know. So we have keyboards, key cards, keypads, and all of these things are just to hold our valuables. And as I began to look at the word key, and then I began to think of, my husband, he's been a keynote speaker. What does a keynote speaker do? Well, a keynote speaker is one that speaks. He's the main attraction, and he's there to unlock our mind in order to instill into our minds some valuable things. So here again, we're dealing with keys and with valuables and stuff like that. So I began to say, okay, they say to key one's speech. What is the definition to key one's speech? And the definition was to regulate or adjust actions, thoughts, speech to a particular state or activity. So what we're going to attempt to do is to show you that just by adjusting some of your actions and some of your thoughts and the way you speak, you know what I'm saying, that you can improve your relationship. So that's what we're gonna work on. Our actions, our thoughts, and our speech in order to improve relationships. So with that being said, my king.
Absolutely. I definitely want to talk about that because for myself, I had to humble myself because anybody that knows me, I'm a firm speaker. So I had to work on how I spoke to my queen because at times I was very aggressive, with the way I was dialoguing with her, and with my background being a former thug, and also my military lifestyle, I had to not tone it down. I had to totally get rid of that. Because sometimes, you're not aware that a switch, click sometime. You click off a safe and the next thing you know, you shot some rounds and you wounded your partner. And now you have to deal with the aftermath of what you have said and what you've done. I like to liken when you do something wrong like that damaging, I like to liken it unto an accident. When you get into a car accident, you can apologize about what you have done, but it doesn't negate the fact that the damage is still done. So because you apologize doesn't make the damage go away that you have caused, the car wreck that you have caused. So let's shape that into a relationship. Now you have wrecked your relationship because of what you have said or what you have done. Well, I love to use songs as a basis of what I'm talking about. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's by Diana Ross and the Supremes. And the song stated, "Stop in the name of love. Before you break my heart, think it over." Now, of course, I wasn't going to sing that because I'll do that just justice.
No, baby, you can below. You know that.
I'll do that just justice.
My baby can sing.
You understand. So, before, and listen, it takes work because we have to have the attitude of love. Again, we have to have the attitude of love, meaning that you have to move away from, well, that's just the way that I am. See, love doeth no ill. Love is patience. So if you love your spouse, then you're going to put in the work because that's going to take discipline, which takes patience. Because you got to have the patience to discipline yourself. So you have to work on that, which is causing problems in your relationship. And I would just be frank with you. A lot of people, they don't want to put in the work. They're emotionally lazy. They are emotionally lazy. They know it's going to take them to pray, to meditate, to hold their tongue from saying or doing certain things. And sometimes people feel like they're losing themselves. Listen, you must understand that there's things about you that don't belong there. There's some things about you that needs to be cut off from your life. Although you may have been that way numerous years, you have to ask yourself the question, which one is more valuable? The bad habit that you have or the good spouse that you have? Again, which one is more valuable? The bad habit that you have or the good spouse that you have? Now, which one do you believe should go? A bad habit or a good spouse? I don't recall anybody throwing away anything that's good. Queen?
Well, yeah, I must agree. Sometimes we want to project what we see and how we feel onto that spouse or what have you. And as we project those things, sometimes we feel like our spouse is doing us a disservice or an injustice, when in fact there's an issue that lies on the inside. That's why I always like to say that we need to start out with, loving ourselves, getting to know ourselves, finding out the root of what is causing the issues in our life. Because we go around as if, we all high and mighty, when we got so much garbage on the inside that is, passed on, not just from generations and generations, and it's in your DNA and it's in your bloodline. And because of, you're used to living this way, and you see things out of a certain outlook, out of these glasses, like we always say, some people like to go around with rose-colored glasses, and some people like to go around with dirty glasses, and the glasses that they're looking out of is a projection of their heart. So I say that you must first clean up your act before you go on with a spouse, because we do project some things. I've been in some situations, in this relationship and things like that. Some things happened to me in the past, hurt my feelings. So being that I was hurt in the past, when I got, with my king, it was like, okay, you just like the rest of them, so, you got 0 times to fool up with me, and it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fully prepared. I'm fully looking and expecting, all of these things to happen, because I'm looking out of the hurt that's on the inside of me. That's how I'm viewing him, as if, because of the hurt that's in my heart. And there's several things, of course, he probably had some things happen in his life that, he began to project, but I'm sure he did grasp a hold of it and was able to correct it. But we must clean up ourselves. We need to know what's hurting us. We need to know, what's going to make it better. We need to get down to the root of the matter. You know what I'm saying? We have to do some purging, like he said, some meditation and things like that, in order to move forward in these relationships. And like I said, how are you, because you got hurt somebody else that did nothing to you to cause you to hurt them. I heard him say hurting people hurt others. You know what I'm saying? But until you get it together, you need not hurt anyone else. So, what you got to say, Keith? That was abrupt.
Yeah, I definitely concur. And the key is self-care. Self-care. It says 2 shall become 1. So how can you become one with someone when you haven't become one with yourself? You cannot become one with somebody else if you haven't established yourself individually. And what happens is, a lot of times somebody comes into a relationship, their life is in shambles, which ultimately equals your relationship being in shambles, because you yourself are not in the right mindset in order for you to be able to proceed to be in a more serious relationship, i.e. being married. That's something that's very serious. That's why psychologically, of course, none of us will ever be perfect. So I'm very realistic about that. Okay. However, you have to ensure that you do a self-analysis and be real with yourself. Let me be very clear on this. If you're playing games with yourself, you're going to play games with the person. And once the person see that you're playing games, I promise you they don't want to play no more. You understand? Recess is going to be over. All right. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop playing the games with ourselves. Let's stop ignoring what we're seeing and hiding. See, listen, some people, they hide stuff because they know if the person actually sees them, then that person will not want to pursue a more serious relationship with them. So now you're hypocriting, now you're acting, and then what happens is the person is going to pull a curtain on that drama.
Say a word. Say that again, my kid.
The person is going to pull a curtain on that drama. they're going to run you off of the stage of their life.
That's right.
You understand? They're going to shut that show down.
That's right.
Right? You know, so it's imperative for you to ensure that you're managing your money properly. Well, well, I'm not a good financial manager, but you're hiding that. Okay? You know that whatsoever the person said, that fired you up. You know what I'm saying? You was ready to jump across that table on that person, right? You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is when somebody get married like that, now is a stranger living in their house. I told y'all I like songs. That's just the way I flow. You understand? So it's a stranger living in the house. They're going to wonder, who is this person that I'm married to? Who is this woman? Who is this man? Why? Because first of all, you weren't being real with yourself. So how can you be real with somebody else when you weren't real with yourself? That means that, guess what? The person that they married wasn't the real you. Listen, sometimes people, they rush because of loneliness. Loneliness gets a hold of this person, right? Well, I'm tired of being by myself, And so now your emotions, start running rampant. You know what I'm saying? You're getting impatient. You're not patient enough for you to work on that particular situation that you need to work on prior to you getting married. Because the truth is, one of the major reasons why divorces happen is because of communication and finances. Also, infidelity. Brother and sister alike, that you got a lusting problem. Now, we just talked about being real with yourself and being real with the other person.
My word.
Right? Now you have a problem with keeping your fly zip and your skirt down. So, why are you going to get married when you know that you don't have enough self-control? So now you go into a relationship, you take that issue into the relationship, and now ultimately you end up being in a state of infidelity. Okay, now you have broke his or her heart. Why? Because you weren't being real. Because you were being selfish. Because see, it was just all about you. I'm tired of being alone. I don't want this person to see this. I don't want this person to see. Already you're not ready, because if you're not thinking about us, you're not thinking about we, you're not thinking about ours. No, you're just thinking about I, me. Queen?
Yes. I want to address Brother Mike. He had a question. He said, how do you handle conflicts? I'm just going to tell you that I've grown up since I've been in this relationship or this marriage or what have you. My way of handling conflicts wasn't always the right way, I've learned. So, there's time, I just get in my car and drive off and things like that. And then all of a sudden, we were sharing the same car. I'm like, look, you done made me mad. I don't have to drive. Put me out right here, but I've learned. I've learned how to deal with conflict. I'm the type that if things seem to be getting out of hand or escalating, I do hold my peace, and I do allow my husband to get whatever it is out that he's trying to get out. And it may take me some time, to come back, but I can come back and address it after things have, died down. That's one way to handle conflict. I would say to make sure that you're using your compassion and understanding, and that your ego is not tripping, or you're not feeding your ego, or and your spouse, they're understanding also, and you find a better time and a better place in order to address the issue if you can. Because I've known, situations to escalate, which have caused fights, which have caused deaths, which have caused all type of things. So there's various ways to handle conflict, but I would definitely, walk away, or wait till everything calm down, because we feed our ego too much. I am telling you right now, we totally feed our ego too much, and the ego is running everything. Our emotions are running everything. Our emotions breaking up houses. Our emotions throwing tantrums. Our emotions are causing us to have, affairs, and our emotions are causing so much stuff. When we gonna get a chance to put our emotions in check? Our emotions are running our lives. So, and then there's a book called Emotional Intelligence, that you might want to check out to try and get your emotions in check. Now, I'm not going to say that, I'm not a woman and I'm not emotional. Yeah, I get emotional, but I try. I'm fighting. Try not to let my emotions get the best of me in certain areas. And if I see them flaring up, I address them, so that's that part. And I also wanted to address unrealistic expectations that we're expecting from each other. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as I know, Cinderella was the only one who married the prince. I married the king, but she married the prince. There's such fairy tale and such unrealistic expectations that people are bringing into marriage. I don't understand. There's reality. There's life. Life happens all the time. We've been through quite a bit. We've been through fires, floods, all type of things like that. And things happen. They happen quite a bit.
Literally, we've been through a fire.
Yeah, we've been.
We was in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
And
literally.
The place was on fire.
Yes.
I didn't know if I was gonna make it out alive. I called my mama.
Oh yeah. She was talking about signing the will and everything.
I was like, look, just call my job if you want the insurance policy. I'm just saying. But anyways, we come with unrealistic expectations. We have to realize that we we literally come from two different worlds. I mean, we got different hormones running through our bodies. And I was teasing my husband. I said, you're from the almost to Canada, borderline Canada. I'm down here by Cuba, next to the Caribbean islands. Don't get mad at me if I don't know how to use a furnace. You know what I'm saying? And don't go tell your homeboys, oh, she don't know what a furnace is. It ain't gonna work between us. Well, teach me. Explain to me what a furnace is. I had to explain to him what to do during hurricanes. Those are not deal breakers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe we don't have cast iron frying pans down here and nobody knows what they are. Explain what it is. So I'll let him talk.
Yeah, I agree. And it's pretty much you being humble, and that's where it goes back into, there's no way of getting around this, man. Because again, love is what? Patient. Love is definitely patient. So how do we handle conflicts? We talk it out. She and I, and listen, I'm not knocking anybody that has went to a counselor. But I always say this, the best love coach is your queen or your king. Nobody can teach you how to love your spouse better than your spouse. You understand? So, what I simply do is we listen to each other. And that's real talk. She been ready to go upside my head, a couple times. You understand? Yeah. She ready to, oh Lord. She touched me. And oh, she touched me. And oh, what joy filled my soul.
You got holy. Go ahead.
Hey man, the brother loses focus. I'm just trying to say focus. But nevertheless, though, we actually talk things out. All jokes aside, really, my queen and I, we really, truly, sincerely do. We talk things out. We listen to each other. And listen, she don't agree with everything I say, and I don't always agree with everything that she says. But we listen to each other. And that's the thing, you have to pay attention to what, your spouse is saying. And also, it comes along with paying attention to each other. It really does. Because, you will be able to avoid. Let me tell you what I do, because I pay close attention to her, right? So I never falsely accuse her. I never falsely accuse her. Why? Because I pay attention to her. I pay attention to what she would and she wouldn't do, what she does and what she don't do. You know, so yeah, that'd be good. So with that being said, you know, I pay attention to her, so I won't have to say, well, you know, you all about money. Listen, man, sometimes, brothers, we say that, and let's just keep it real. Excuse me, family. A little something got in my eye, so you got to excuse me. You know, sometimes, you know, we don't pay attention to what we're saying, because that woman knows we not rich. So, you know, it's a mind game. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. You know, sometimes we're bringing our past relationship into, you know, our present relationship. It was a woman who used us for money. So, you know, and you kept getting used and kept getting used. And now, okay, she's here only for the benefits, not paying attention. Like my queen, you know, when I met her, she already had everything. So common sense to me, she wasn't with me because of what I had, because she already had everything. She already had her own car, her own house. You know, she had a job, she had benefits, she had all that. So she didn't need me for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Only thing she needed me to do was to love her. So common sense lets me know that she didn't need me in my life. Excuse me, she didn't leave me in her life for anything other than, you know, only thing she needed from me was just to love her. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So keys to a successful relationship too is paying attention to your spouse, because a lot of times we are falsely accusing each other. A lot of times we're putting each other in a category where we don't belong because of something that we experienced prior to. So I like to call it bad relationship trauma. Okay? A lot of us have experienced bad relationships. And so unfortunately, we're still so traumatized from our past relationships that we start putting that person in the same category, and they're far from that person. They're far from that person that you are making them to be. And what it is, unfortunately, you're actually reliving. If they do one thing that reminds you of the past, all of a sudden they're that person. Oh, see you just like so. See, I'm not going forward with this relationship. Listen. Depending on what it is, of course, if it's verbal abuse or violence, then of course you stop that relationship. But if it's something like a statement that somebody made and they did something bad following after that, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what that man or that woman is going to do. You know what I'm saying? You're prejudging them. You're not giving them an opportunity to be themselves. You have made them into someone else. And that's something that you have to refrain from doing. If you have to get counseling for it, then do that. Okay, be humble about it seriously and do that, because you're suffering mental trauma. You really are, both men and women. Queen?
You know, that was good. That was good, because, you know, one of the things that I did say coming in, you know, I understand that, you know, I had a few bad habits, but there are some main core things about me that I didn't want, you know, anybody trying to change me. So we have to realize that for the most part, half of us over 40, some of y'all pretty young still, and you know, we've gone through this life and all this trying to change somebody into somebody else. I mean, you know, I don't think that I'm gonna say it like this: you can't really change anybody that doesn't want to be changed. You know, you can work on yourself so that you can have a different outlook of the situation or what have you. But I would not spend my time trying to change anyone else.
Exactly.
I allow my king to be who he is.
Yes, she do.
And
yes, she
what
does.
he does and
yes,
whatever makes him happy.
That's the truth. That's facts.
You know, and I don't have any problem with it. You know, because I myself I'm gonna be myself. And he doesn't have any problem. And let me just let you know, because he allows me to be myself and who I am, and to give to him what the Creator put inside of me to
Absolutely.
give to him, we're able to go to another level.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of
Absolutely.
couples, a lot of
True.
husbands, wives, and things like that do not allow their spouses to be themselves, so they cannot go to the next level. You know, I believe that, we down here, I'm gonna say in this earth realm, a lot of us do have partners. And when you have the partner and you guys work together the way that you're supposed to work together, you will not remain stagnant. If you're stalemated and you're on the same platform and position for the last, I don't know how many years, you need to go back and make a check. Make sure that you're setting goals for your relationship. Make sure that you're setting goals for your family. Make sure that you're setting goals for your children and your grandchildren, etc., etc., etc. So I believe again in allowing my mate, my king,
Watch out
to be who he is.
My brother feel all right.
Yes, baby. So you go ahead.
Okay, beautiful. I will. I believe I will. I take that invitation. I concur.
Yes.
And also, it's important because my queen has gifts, right? And brothers, this is the reason why it's important to be humble, because her gifting has catapulted us into our destiny. My queen taught me things about real estate that I didn't even know. You see, some of us, we've been taught the wrong thing. We've been taught the wrong thing about women should be quiet. That's a lie. That's a lie. Okay. I don't agree with that at all. Okay. Women should just be seen and not heard. That is a manipulating mentality. And it will kill a nation. Because the queens, for the most part, are the ones, when the husband went out to work, the queens were the ones at home raising the child and children. In fact, my mother was the one who taught me how to read and how to write. My mother was the one who taught me how to add and subtract. My mother taught me that. You understand? So if I didn't listen to the wisdom that she has, we would never have gotten to the place that we are. We've been blessed both spiritually and financially because I listened to the wisdom coming out of her mouth. It's not about gender. A mature person hears the voice of wisdom. They hear the voice of the Creator. They don't hear a woman talking.
Sure.
They hear wisdom coming out of her mouth. And that's another problem too, man. We need to put our women back on the throne. We have allowed the wrong mentality via racism, okay, to program us to slander our woman, to dethrone our woman. The black woman is God. Yes, I said the black woman is God. She is a goddess. Okay, check the record. Yemiya, Oshun, Oya. I said, the black woman is God. And we have to put our queen back on the throne in a place of power. And it's our responsibility for us to do that. Okay, so you have to get the mindset of reverence in the sense of respect. To respect the woman. So I reverence my queen. Because I understand that, you know what I'm saying, she's just not beautiful on the outside. She's beautiful on the inside. She has a beautiful mind. And I would have never known that if I would have just tuned her out. Woman, don't say nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Look, let me do all the thinking. You just be quiet. Man, listen. We would still be in phase 1 had I done that. Right now, we have a total, and I'm not boasting, I'm just telling you, this is the importance of unity. Cooperative economics, your in-house bank. It's important to come together as a family because you have to be fruitful and multiply together. Together. Because that's not unity. That's individuality. That's not unity. And so we were able to start a total of 3 businesses that now we're able to set up our family for generational wealth because I humbled myself and I listened to the wisdom that she has. And it helped us to get where we are expeditiously. Queen?
I just want to say, I concur, to the vast majority of what you're saying, because, we actually call each other king and queen. You know what I'm saying? And when I call him king, I'm speaking to the king, the God that's on the inside of him. It's like I am zooming in directly to the king that's on the throne, and I'm acknowledging, who is in my presence. And then not only am I acknowledging, I know that that nature on the inside of him would rise up and cause him to accomplish more, to cause him to want to do more, to cause him to have, better self-esteem. Not to say that his self-esteem was down, to cause and encourage him to continue on and to elevate, knowing that he has something on the inside of him that will press, that will cause him to move forward. So when I speak, like I say, I speak to what's on the inside of him. I speak to what I saw when I first met him. I speak to that. He says, Lord, I'm going to say it like this. He says I didn't need anything from him. He said I had it all, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? I could have did that. I didn't have my better half. I was floating. I was in the jet, but I had one engine. You know what I'm saying? And it was a little harder with the one engine, or what have you. But when I did meet my king, it wasn't that I wanted his money. It wasn't that I wanted his honey. But what I saw inside of him is he had great leadership ability. I saw his character. And that thing was more valuable than gold to me. It's more valuable than the VA benefits. It's more valuable than any dollar that he could have given to me. If there is a man that has character, integrity, and a leadership ability, that man is golden.
Ashe. Ashe-o.
Ashe.
Absolutely. And again, we have multiple keys to a successful relationship. We're going to do these programs once a month. We thank everybody that tuned in and watched. We just wanted to give you, a starter for everybody who just tuned in, so you can understand that what you see, it takes work. And if you listen to the song that we played in the intro by Raheem Devon, and I encourage all of you lovebirds out there, and those of you brothers who want to play a beautiful song to your queen, play that song that I played in the intro by Raheem Devon. Don't come easy. You know what I'm saying? Because he said love don't come easy. See, New Edition in that song, they said, sunny days, everybody loves them. But tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? You understand? So a lot of people, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Everything is tweet until something challenging comes in your life, and then you find out whether or not you really love that person. So what am I saying? You got to understand that just because something is meant to be doesn't mean that you're not going to have trials. And it goes back to what my queen said about unrealistic expectations. That is unrealistic. If you expect for nothing to ever happen, okay, listen, you and your queen or you and your king don't have to bring trials and tribulations into your life. Absolutely not. Life itself will bring trials into your life. And then you're really going to find out then it's not honeymooning time. No. Sunny days, remember, everybody loves them. But can you stand the rain? So if you're a person that you crumble individually under pressure, how in the world can you hold down a kingdom if you can't take going through anything? If you always whining and complaining and you ready to run, as soon as something happens, pew, You got your doggone track shoes on. You run so much you ought to be a doggone gold medalist. You understand? You know, you got to take them doggone track shoes off and learn how to take something. You know, seriously, learn how to go through trials. You understand what I'm saying? You can't just tap out at one sign of trouble. You know what I'm saying? You just, no, men do it too. Men act like they so tough. When something happen, I can't take it, wham. You know what I'm saying? Give them they pacifier, give them they bottle, because they whining like a little baby. They start running.
Leave immediately.
That's why the woman is there by herself raising the family, because they don't have enough testosterone, you know, within them. Well, I said it, doggone, I'm going to say it again. Yeah, shoot. You know what I'm saying? Man up, doggone it. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to be able to take something seriously. Learn how to be able to take something. And of course, again, verbal abuse, physical abuse, that's a no-no. Okay, but you have a little argument, a misunderstanding, come on. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have disagreements. She and I, we disagree. You understand? We don't see eye to eye all the time. Again, when we dated each other, we didn't come with that type of expectation. Okay, we're never, we're never going to argue, or we're never going to, man, stop playing. Stop playing now. Come on, stop playing. Let's stop playing. You're not going to see eye to eye. Why? Because you got different upbringings. In certain situations, you got different upbringings, which forms different habits.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And certain things, there you go. And certain things, your wife, your fiance, your girlfriend or boyfriend may do that may irritate you. You know what I'm saying? Like cleanliness and stuff like that. Okay? That's just an example. Okay? He may not be as clean as you, or she may not be as clean as you, but think about this. You know what I'm saying? That can change in their life. Let's not just focus on the bad thing. Look, what about the good things? Sometimes we focus so much on the bad that we overlook the good. And I'm going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. We're going to continue this in our next session. We're going to do this every third Monday, every month. So we'll see you guys in March, on the third Monday in March. Again, don't forget, tomorrow we have a phenomenal program on Tuesday, on tomorrow on my page. Also, Black Love Family page. We're going to be on with the Queens on tomorrow. We're going to talk about black women back in the day versus today. Again, tomorrow, black women back in today versus today, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, the Black Love Family page, brothers and sisters, the admins, we're going to come together. We're going to talk about it. This is Black Love Empowerment Week. Okay, on Thursday, we have Black Love Thursdays. It goes at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Again, on the Black Love Family page, Brother Michael Neal is the host of that. And I am the host of Brother to Brother Talk, which goes on Tuesday, same time, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Central Time. Okay. Now tomorrow, Brother Daleon Adolfo, he's a part of the Ashanti people. All right. He's going to be on the program tomorrow talking to us about our African spirituality and show us how Kemetic science, voodoo, Ifa, how they all parallel. He's going to talk about his spiritual journey. Our brother is from Ghana. Born and raised in Ghana. Born and raised, left there as a grown man. Okay. And he's going to come on and talk to us. He's part of the Akan people. He's a part of the Ashanti people. Okay. And he's going to be on tomorrow. Okay. So we will be greatly appreciative if you could tune in on tomorrow. Okay. Thank you. Love you. Appreciate you. Be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank everybody for asking the questions and your comments. We love you. Give us your feedback. Let us know how you like the program. We want to hear your feedback, whether or not it's positive, negative. It's all good. You know, we want to improve it and make it better. Queen?
You said it all.
That means she don't have nothing else to say. I got it. All right. See, the husband got it. The king got it. She ride on my back. Peace.